Am I the a-hole for refusing to apologize? Background info: my husband loves cooking. He goes all out for dinners and even his Lizzie meals can seem extravagant at times, so our children have a mature palate. He especially loves when we as guests that when he goes all out for sure, he plans his meal in advance and get extremely excited. My husband and I had a dinner with our friends and our kids. My husband made us Arabic salad and garlic bread on the side with mashed potatoes and braised duck served with a sauce. When everyone came we had 3 parents and 7 children. My husband and I served everyone food and everyone was complimenting it, but my husband noticed one of my friend, let call her Melissa, child, 6, not eating, so he asked him if he didn't like the food and he nodded his head no, and Melissa chimed in and sighed, he doesn't have a mature palate, and my husband said, sorry, we have more mashed potatoes, maybe he can eat it without the sauce. Melissa said he doesn't eat mash. My husband said that fine, I can microwave or make him something quick. Melissa said thank you and told him frozen chicken nuggets would be good. My husband said, we don't eat frozen food, but how about cereal, PB&J/grilled cheese or leftover spaghetti bolognese, and she said cereal. Next thing that happened, my husband served the ice cream and carrot cake. Melissa, other son 8, said this ice cream was so good. My daughter, 4, said me and my daddy made it, we don't eat the store-bought crap. This is my fault. Woman face palming. I was mocking my husband earlier, asking him what he was making, and he said ice cream, and I said in a sarcastic way that we are too good for store-bought crap, huh? It was a force of habit. Me and my husband thought that if we don't point out we used a bad word our daughter would not notice, and obviously we were wrong, but I'm a 100% sure she didn't say it with any bad intentions, and everyone laughed. Now yesterday I received a call from Melissa saying she felt like me and my husband were looking down on her and mommy shaming her because we said we don't eat frozen food. I was just about to apologize because I never want to make someone feel mommy shamed until this woman said she feels sorry for my daughter because she can already see my snobbishness and self-centeredness spreading to her because of that comment my daughter made about crap ice cream. And that where I draw a line. I told her to not mention my daughter's name when wanting to address me, and she shouldn't worry about feeling inferior because she will never be invited to my home again. Our friend decided to get involved and they keep saying that I should apologize because they don't want to be left in the middle of it, and they feel like I was wrong because I should have known the food was too mature for a kid's palate. I honestly don't care. I have friends outside of this friend group and honestly don't mind cutting them off. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to watch my brother's kids on our family vacation? I'm on vacation with my immediate family. I'm F/30 and my 2 brothers are in their late 30s. They're both married and they each have kids, 5 kids total ranging in age from 3 to 9 years old. My parents are also on the trip, and I am accompanied by my boyfriend of 2 years. We're here for a week and it's been really fun so far. We have a mix of days where we have activities planned and then a few free days. My family has had a text thread going for months with all of the trip planning, so we knew which days were activity versus free days. My boyfriend and I planned a romantic dinner for one of the free nights at a really nice restaurant on the island. We made a reservation months ago because it books up. I was getting ready to go out and one of my sister-in-laws made a comment about me dressing up to stay in. I was confused and asked her to clarify. She said that she, my brother, and my other married brother and his wife, were doing a couple's spa evening experience that they booked a few days earlier, and they needed me and my BF to watch all of their kids. She said my brother was supposed to have asked me earlier that day. He forgot to. When I explained that my boyfriend and I already had plans, she was super unsympathetic. She said they already prepaid for the spa experience, and since we hadn't paid for the dinner yet, it wouldn't make sense for them to have to cancel their plans. I never agreed to watch their kids. I love my nieces and nephews, but my family knows I am child-free and have been for years. It's been a point of contention for a long time. I wouldn't mind watching them if I had been given advance notice, but to have them slapped on me when I had plans with my BF made me really upset. My sister-in-law said I didn't understand how much she needed the time away from her kids because I don't have kids of my own. She said I was being selfish and I could handle one night of being a mom. It's not the point. I would have agreed if she had asked me months ago before my BF and I made dinner plans. I checked and we wouldn't be able to get another reservation before we leave. My parents walked in on us arguing, and eventually they offered to watch the kids. They were supposed to go to a free concert on the beach together but decided to cancel so someone could stay with the kids. I felt really bad but my mom insisted. Now it's the next day and my sister-in-law won't even look at me. I'm pissed at her too, but we're stuck here for a week so I don't know what to do. My mom thinks I should apologize but I feel I'm the one owed the apology here. Am I the a-hole for telling my sil to butt off and let me eat food the way I want? I, 36F, am a white girl married into a Japanese family. My husband's family has never really accepted me because I am white, but they're not that bad most of the time. Usually, they are just cold, but my sil is very hostile, especially when it comes to food. I don't like sushi and my sil always tried to get me to eat it and has yelled at me for things like using too much soy sauce, eating my dumpling whole and not dipping it in sauce first, mixing wasabi with my soy sauce, drinking sake with rice, etc. Recently we went out for dinner with him for my birthday. I am okay with chopsticks but I still struggle with them sometimes. I was trying to pick up a piece of meat and I just used one of the chopsticks to stab the meat and eat it. Sil immediately started yelling at me saying I was disrespectful. I told her I would eat my food however I liked and to please mind her own business. She always does this and I have had enough. People can eat however they like. I am sick of her picking at my food habits. She said I was being disrespectful to her culture. I told her how I chose to eat food as my choice and to mind her own business. Things got ugly and I left. My husband stayed with them. I have been married to him for 5 years and dating for 7. I have learned his language and speak Japanese with his family. His family has had none of that same respect for me. To this day none of his family has ever tried Egyptian food or tried to learn the language. I have been expected to learn it even though they speak perfect English. We live in Europe yet I am always expected to conform to his culture. Am I the a-hole for cutting the line and stealing the handicap stall from a disabled person? On Friday, I was shopping at this Ranch 99 store and it has like restaurants in it. I've been having some stomach aches but not sure why, thought maybe it was my period soon. It's an Asian shop and it was also Autumn Moon Festival so it was crowded. Suddenly, I had to go. I left everything in a cart in the aisle and ran for the bathroom. There was a decent sized line but I just ran forward and cut in front of everyone. There was an elderly woman who was about to make her way to the handicapped stall but I rushed forward, blurted out I'm sorry, I really need to go. She tried to protest, along with other people in line, but I disregarded them and ran in and locked the door. It was followed by explosive diarrhea that was very audible to everyone. The grandma and all the other guests were hurling insults at me for being disrespectful and saying I was horrible for cutting in line but honestly it felt like an emergency. Was I an a-hole for cutting all the people in line to the bathroom and essentially stealing the stall from the grandma? Am I the a-hole for refusing to making sure things are equal between my daughter and stepdaughter? My wife and I each brought a daughter from previous relationships into our marriage. Despite being only a year apart in age, our daughters were completely different and that's why I'm here. My daughter has always been athletic and outgoing. Growing up, she played basketball, softball, soccer, volleyball, and even golf. In middle school, she picked up tennis and never looked back. I paid for her to have private lessons and when she found out how much I was paying for those lessons, she decided that's what she wants to do as her teenage job. She's now a junior, is one of the best players on her HS team, and teaching tennis lessons. She teaches elementary school kids and charges $75 per hour per kid. With her skills and outgoing personality, she has a waiting list of kids and makes about $1,200 a week. She could make more but I limit her hours so that she can concentrate on school. My stepdaughter is reserved and not very athletic. We always tried to sign her up to the same sport and team with my daughter but she either objected or quit a couple of weeks in. I get it, sports is not for everyone so I never made her feel bad about it. She recently turned 16 and got a job at a burger place nearby. She's making $13 an hour and brings home less than $200 a week. My daughter recently decided that she wants to be independent by buying her clothes and electronics with her own money. Obviously she can afford the latest styles and gadgets. She recently brought herself the top-of-the-line Mac. My stepdaughter is jealous of her sister and have been very vocal about it. While we were in bed last night, my wife said it was unfair one is making so much more than the other. I answered that there's nothing we can do about it and it's a good life lesson for the girls. My wife then suggested we have my daughter use her money to help my stepdaughter buy the same things or we cover the pay difference between the girls. I laughed because I thought she was joking but she wasn't. We argued for about an hour before we went to sleep. This morning she brought it up again and said I'm refusing because I'm playing favorites and that's a no move for a parent. We argued until we had to leave for work.